Hello there. This is Karan with Karan.com and Love Music Pleasure. And Gen V is so exciting this season. There's so many changes in this new season, but there's also a lot of gory goodness. I want to know what's the most fun, being a super or getting to be in the middle of all that gore.
Hmm.
Can it be both? I don't know why we have to choose. I mean, the thing is, if you're doing a show that's in the boys' universe and the universe, Gen V, if you get to deal with all the blood, then that's the whole point of the game. That means you're part of the club.
For sure. And I just love anytime I get to use my superpowers. I think it's so good. And oftentimes the superpowers and the blood go hand in hand. So it's you
There
kind
you
of
go, for
can't.
you, yeah,
For me,
yeah,
every time
absolutely,
it
yeah.
goes hand in hand. So I kind of can't do one without the other.
Well, this is so much fun. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Hi, Dana Abercrombie, the Coalition. Grief is a huge theme for this season, and so I wanted to know through that process of grief, how do you feel that the characters navigate this season differently than they have before? And is that more of a not necessarily a positive, but something that they always wanted to do, but never had that motivation to?
I'll speak to that first, I guess. I mean, I think that the grief aspect of it was, obviously real for all of us, and also for the characters on the show. What I think was great about what the show did was that at some point, every character got to talk about what Andre meant to them, or how he affected them, or how he changed, their lives, and I think that's a very cathartic way for us to deal with it as well, in real life, because I think that what Chance brought to the table was so unique and so special and irreplaceable that it was a great opportunity that the writers gave us to kind of say that on screen, within the context of the story and within the context of our characters.
Yeah, I think that it was really challenging. I mean, it's literally a nightmare and a tragedy. And having lost somebody so talented and um, dear was really painful. And I think that having them write it into the story was important. You know, Andre was such a beloved character. I don't think that we could have not written it in, and really taking the time for each of the characters to process how they process, I think was very important. Um, and the thing that I also love about how we did it this season is that he was the heartbeat of it. You know, we tie it back to him and back to him and back to him, and I think that that was really important to do.
Hi, Nancy Green here. And first of all, I want to extend my condolences. And I'm very deeply sorry for your loss. And I wanted to know if you're okay with it, if you can talk a bit about what chance means to you. And also, if you're not okay with that, I completely understand. If you can also talk a bit about how your characters have leveled up this season and how they have changed in dealing with all of the different plots going on in this season.
Hmm. Well, I mean, what did Chance mean to me? I mean, I don't know where to start with that. The first time I met Chance, we were about to shoot our first scene the next day, and he called me and said, "Hey, man, let's have some pizza," you know. And we hung out and we had pizza, and I was just struck about about just how brilliant he is. His mind went 1,000 miles a minute, and he just kind of he reinvigorated me just being around him. Sometimes I'm a little older than the rest of these guys, and
Only a little.
so a little bit, yeah,
Just a little.
yeah. So sometimes you just get a little bit in the grind of things, and he just kind of woke me up and made me feel refreshed and invigorated, and I just always look forward to that, whether I was going to see him on or off camera.
Hi. Yeah, my question is just pertaining to you guys coming in to the legacy of the boys universe, right? And you guys are two of the most powerful black superheroes that I've seen in the show. And I want to know how amazing does it feel for you guys to take on that legacy of the boys and becoming the new future iteration of that going forward?
I mean, it's so exciting. It's such an honor. Sorry, there's a hair in my face. Um, yeah, they've just built such an amazing universe. And I think it's like, as actors, we're always trying to give it our best, whatever we're doing. We want to like do a great job, but it's like when the entire universe around you is great, it really supports that in a different way. And so, I just feel super lucky to get to be a part of it, to be honest. And anytime we're going back and forth, anytime there's crossover, anytime our stories intertwine, I just love it.
Hmm. And you and I had our moment. We had a moment on set where we looked at each other and we were like, "Oh my God, these two black characters are going to go in there and handle the business." You
Yeah.
know? And I think like without even saying it, we looked at each other and we knew
Mhm.
the significance of that.
Mhm. It
And
felt really powerful and
yeah.
just like, yeah, to get to be these really fleshed out, exciting, powerful
Mhm.
characters together in that moment felt really, really cool.
Absolutely.
Hi, Jill Monroe, KBLA and EUR. So this show has all the elements, politics, ego, the system, and of course, powers. So we get that wrapped in satire. Which situation or theme comes up this season that you felt hit a little bit too close to home in the real world?
In the real world?
In real life, as opposed to this, TV situation. Like,
Well, I mean, I think like living in Homelander's America was pretty on the nose, you know?
Absolutely.
That was kind of stressful to
Yeah.
go back to work and it's like make, supers great again or
Right.
whatever the fuck
Right.
it says.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like that was pretty where we're at right now
Mm.
or, on our way. So I think getting to like show what can happen with that kind of power
Mhm.
was pretty real.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea of one group claiming supremacy,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, obviously for us, that's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to have that.
Right.
And so I think that I feel a great sense of personal satisfaction of being able to tell a story that gives the finger to all of that.
Hmm.
And so the parallels are obvious and they're disturbing. And I like to think that we're a part of the pushback and all of that in real life.
Hmm.
Hi, everyone. Brandon Council, Media Popcorn Podcast. Great work this season. My question for both of you is, what is your process for preparing for your respective characters, and how does that differ from previous projects that you've done? And we can start with Jazz.
I am so super nerdy with this character specifically. I feel like I'm, always dedicated, but with Marie, I just like really. I mean, at the start of the season, I kind of like picture the whole shape of it and think of like, where am I starting? Where am I going? And like, how do I get there, sort of. And then each scene, I just break it down and I dissect it and I ask myself, where in this part of the journey am I? So lots of notes in lots of scripts for me, for sure. And then there's also a lot of physical preparation that goes into it as well. A lot of stunt training with John Koyama and his amazing team. We were out there doing that weeks, a month or so beforehand because they really wanted Marie in more combat this season, which I did get to do quite a bit more combat, which I just loved. So preparing for me is like, I'm preparing the work, I'm preparing the fighting, and I'm also like mentally and spiritually preparing for the fact that like all I'm gonna do for the next 6 months is be on set. So there's also like that emotional preparation as well, and like being ready to like carry that and show up every day 100%.
Okay. Mr. Thomas?
Preparation for me, gosh, I mean, it's weird how I hate to sound so esoteric and artsy, but
Do it.
I will do it.
Go crazy.
Uh, when it intersects with where you are in your real life, it dictates how you prepare, I suppose. And for me, Polarity is a dad. That's at the core of what is going through him this season. And in my real life, I'm as a dad can be. I'm obsessed with being a father. I'm obsessed with my kids. And so to be just fully tapped into that on this show, with this character and telling this story, was really all the preparation that I needed, because that longing for his son and the guilt about his role in losing his son, is all that you need to just kind of carry you through.
Hi, Jerry with the TV Cave. This question is for both of you. Can you give 3 words to describe this new season?
Bloody,
Of course.
you know.
Yeah.
Surprising. This is your microphone.
Thank you. A third word? Anal. I'll leave it at that.
Thanks so much for your time. You're not wrong. He's not wrong.
That's on the money, right?
Yeah, bloody, surprising, and anal.
Yeah.
Those are our words. Final answer.
Hey there, Emmanuel Noisette from the movie blog out here in Chicago. I had like a whole nerdy question and everything about the season, but my heart just started to like just pound when I heard Jazz talking about Chance, and I just from one person, a human to a human, how are you guys doing, and what are you doing for like self-care after? Because you guys went through all that tragedy in the beginning, but now you got to relive all this stuff and go through the whole process. And I'm just like, yo, are you guys okay? How are you doing?
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's also just like, you know, for me personally, it's like I'm not really like ever going to fully share my experience because it's just too much to share. It's too personal and it's full and multifaceted and always changing and like, you know, so I think part of the process for me, like in having this personal loss be a public loss, is just like knowing what my boundaries are and knowing how much of it I'm willing to experience, share, and relive, you know? As far as personally, it's like I just have a really amazing support system and like lots of love in my life. So I process it like that. And yeah, I guess that's my answer. But I do feel safe and cared for and, you know, and I do feel it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as I'm concerned, it was very gratifying to come to set and see everybody just locked in to the same spirit of keeping Chance's memory alive and really doing justice to his character and to who he was as an actor and as a person, in the way we went about our work. I sensed like a deeper commitment and a deeper seriousness this year, and I really think that was really had a lot to do with Chance.
I think so too. And I just like, you know, something that I thought about like in terms of like how they wrote it in, or, you know, like at the end in, you know, with our scene, whenever I'm like, that was for Andre, like that was my idea, you know, at the end, we were getting towards the end and I was like, hey, can we tie this back into Andre and make this whole bit about him, you know? And yeah, so for me, something that I was always thinking about was like, what will Chance's mom want to see?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
So kind of trying to propel his memory forward for her.
I think you did that.
Thank you. And thank you for the water in the eyes now.
Yeah.
Hello, it's Karan again with karanism.com and Love Music Pleasure. I would like to know, and this is one of my favorite questions to ask, with your characters, if there was one thing you could keep from your character, what would it be?
Do you mean like a material thing or like a
A
personality
material, a material thing, any of the artwork on set, any of the collections, the vignettes that we see in the various scenes. If there was one thing that could be your favorite that you could take away with you, what would it be?
I think I'd take Polarity's house. I like his house.
Yeah,
I would take
House is
the house
bad.
and everything in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, I'll start there.
Take the goat. I already took all the shit that I want from I have a knife, I have a necklace, I have some boots.
Thank you.
Check.
Hi, Harrison Martin with Flix Frog. I really enjoyed the season. There were a lot of twists and turns. My question for you guys, with The Boys ending next season and then the spinoff Bot Rising starting soon, have you guys been informed of where your characters are going next? And if not, where would you like to see your characters go next?
No, they don't tell us shit. They don't tell us anything. We have no idea. I would like to know where my character's going for sure. As far as what I'd like to see next, I mean, honestly, like, I feel like, we left a lot on the table.
A lot.
Like this season really went there, and we really saw that whole storyline through. So I don't know, something kind of ground up.
Yeah.
For season 3 for me would be amazing. Like, I want to say I want a super suit, but like, do I want a super suit?
Well,
do I want to get into a super suit every day?
Right.
Like,
that's a lot, and
it
sounds hot.
It sounds hot.
Yeah.
And tight.
And you can't pee.
Yeah.
And all of that.
So in my dreams, I want a super suit. But like every day, I think I'd rather stay on the run.
And what about for Polarity?
I mean, I think that at the end of season 2, Polarity's kind of found a new purpose for himself, and I would like to think that since he spent most of his life letting children get abused, that he's going to spend the rest of his life trying to protect and help children, That's where I would like to see him go. That's what I think his next plateau should be.
I love that.
A new dean, perhaps. Thank you very much.
No, hey, you said it.
Hi, Dana again. My question is for Jaz. With this character, we discover more about her for this season. As an actor, how do you prepare for learning more information about that character? And does that change how you perceive her within this season?
Well, I think I am such a lucky person in that the writing is so good. So it's congruent. So when they're writing something new, it's not contradicting the other stuff that they wrote for me. So all it does is make it deeper, and it adds another layer, and it makes it better for me, not confusing. So I have found, and there's been moments where I've been working on my script and I'm like writing all my notes and I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're so brilliant. Like this makes sense from this earlier thing from season 1, from, like that kind of level of thoughtfulness. So it does inform how I play the character for sure, but it also like has yet to be incongruent with stuff that they have previously written.
Hi, Nancy again. And one of the things I noticed about this season was how both Marie and Polarity really are kind of like in their own worlds initially. And I wanted to know if you could talk a bit about your characters' journeys from being sort of just kind of wanting to be this one person, like band going on and doing their own thing, to like how they transition throughout the show to being more willing to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good question.
Well, I think in terms of Polarity's journey, he has already decided that he's done with the world, that he's finished, that he doesn't have anything more to offer, and he has no reason to live, no will to live. And so I think when he gets the visit from Emma in the first episode, she's the one that kind of drags him out of the darkness and to try and like do something, to make some purpose out of what happened. And so I think that when she kind of like spurs him to action, it opens him up to like being able to try and connect with other people if he can. And then things kind of progress from there.
Mm.
And Jeff?
Yeah, I think for Marie, I think she's just been so alone for so long that that's sort of her default. Like at Red River, she wasn't really like trying to make friends. She just was kind of trying to be really powerful and like self-sustain. And so being on the run is a version of that. And then like having all of her teachers tell her she's different, she's other, like that kind of, I think, felt more natural than being part of the unit. And I think Marie really learns by the end of it how important the group is over any one person or any one power. So that's kind of like, her trajectory this time.
Nice. Thank you. It was a great season.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
watched all the episodes like in one night. I was like,
Good.
Thanks.
Binge it, baby.
Yeah.
So this season for you, Sean, thank you. We've always known him to have a lot of authority to kind of set the pace in that measure. And you talked about the arc that we see him travel through this season. Did you learn anything about his relationship with others through his journey this season, kind of pivoting how he views the world, so to speak?
Well, I think that Polarity has allowed himself to be a tool of the establishment, a tool of this corporation. And I think that he's ignored the damage that it does. He's ignored the damage that it does to children, to other people. I think that there was a discussion that I had with Michelle, the showrunner, about the fact that at some point, Polarity needs to acknowledge or say that he's like black. In the midst of all this stuff that's going on, like this whole discussions of superiority and the Vought's history with Nazism and all of that. So it was important to me to say it and to put it out there and make it a real thing. Like Polarity is not just Polarity. Polarity is a black man. Mm-hmm. And that was important to me to put on the table this season. And I'm glad we were able to do that.
Hi, Brandon Collins from Media Popcorn Podcast again. You both have very unique powers, to say the least, on Gen V, right? But if you had to personally choose, what superpower would you want and why?
Teleportation.
Go ahead.
Well, just because it's great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my answer.
I think I would choose Sister Sage's powers.
Really?
Yes.
You want to be the smartest person?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because that's something that to me is very exciting, very intoxicating. It's a burden, but it's a burden I would want.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me. I'm like, freaking, I could go 10% dumber and be perfectly happy. Ignorance is bliss.
Well, I understand that. I wish I could do that. Yeah.
Sister Sage is so badass, though.
Yes.
I get that. I wouldn't want to be her. That's too much pressure.
Thank you both. Great job.
Thanks.
All right. Emmanuel Noisette back at it. Listen, we know that this season is all about leveling up and superpowers and all that. Jazz, I need to hear it from you specifically. Marie versus Homelander. How is it going down? How do you envision it going down?
Don't get me started on this.
I need to hear it.
Don't get me started.
I mean, I need to hear it too.
Well, I want her to kick his ass. Are you kidding me? This evil, fascist, powerful, untouchable white guy. You don't think I want the fucking black female underdog Soup to end him? Of course I do. So you'll just have to tune in and see what happens.
See.
Yeah. No, but really, I obviously that would be amazing. I definitely would love to take on Homelander, but I do know that they're really just doing a great job over there on The Boys in season 5 and wrapping things up. They worked really hard at figuring out how to do that in a way that is cohesive for their show, and I think people will be really stoked about it.
Good.
Cool. I got my money on Marie. Thank you.
Thanks.
But on behalf of the world's largest group of Black film critics and TV critics, we thank you for your time today, and we thank you for watching this edition of Africa Roundtables.
Thanks, Gil.
So much.
Thank you.
Take care, Gil.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys were great.